How's it going, everybody? This is BeatTheBush. Today I'm going to review this MOVA P70 Pro Ultra robotic vacuum cleaner. This is the upgraded version of the P50 Pro Ultra. Most notably, it has 30,000 pascals of suction power rather than the 19,000 before. Higher 260 RPM mopping rather than the 180 RPM before. Higher downward force on the mopping of 12 newtons rather than the 8 newtons before. The hot mop washing now goes up to 100 degrees C or 212 degrees Fahrenheit rather than the previous 75 degrees C. So a little bit hotter, that would allow it to melt grease a little bit better and also sanitize the mop a little bit better. The hot air drying is now 70 degrees C rather than 40 degrees C. Now the AI camera can recognize up to 280 objects rather than the previous 160 objects. The 30,000 pascals of suction power kind of hovers in the top of the line area. In order to achieve that, it requires a high-speed motor inside that goes up to 120,000 RPM. Generally, I see motors that goes this fast in those air duster devices where it blows a lot of air out. And when you do that, you generally require a CNC milled impeller thing that pushes all that air because it spins so fast. That thing cannot be plastic anymore or else it'll just rip apart from the speed. Listen to this robotic vacuum when I set it on maximum power. You can hear the high-pitched whining of that motor and also how powerful it is. It has a triple anti-tangle system, which includes this eccentric side brush, this anti-wrap omni wheel. You can see the molding here is kind of really close to that wheel, so the hairs cannot get in there. But what's not included is the anti-chop brush. This is an optional feature that you need to add, but when I went on their website, it's not sold yet. They do sell a version for the P50, which looks like it has all these metal comb in it, so that as it's brushing it, it would essentially cut all those hairs. The Robo Swing Mop, which is this slider here that moves the mop outside by 1.57 inches. It can also lift the mops 10.5 millimeters. The Maxi Reach side brush can also extend and lift itself up about 9 millimeters. There's a 212 degrees Fahrenheit PTC washboard. This little half moon portion on both sides gets hot. There's a heater inside that will heat these up to 212 degrees Fahrenheit. So as it's cleaning the mop, those things would heat up. It would heat up the mop. However, because this PTC thing, it's not the entire circle. As this mop spins, the mop itself is not going to reach 212 degrees. It's going to be somewhat lower than that. The dock automatically empties the dust. The mops gets automatically washed and dried. It recharges it also. It also has a single solution dispenser right here. In my experience, it's very important to have at least one solution. You may not need 3 different kinds for different kinds of floors, but at least one kind is important to get rid of the grease. And look at this, it even has a 3-year limited warranty that covers manufacturing defects. There is a little gotcha over here. The main wheels, tire, the battery, and the instantaneous heating unit follow the local legal warranty. I'm not sure what the legal warranty is, probably 1 year. I've seen one other robot from a different brand that failed on the instantaneous heating unit. It seems like when they draw a lot of current, it's prone to more failure. Generally, batteries in consumer devices can last about 500 cycles and they degrade when there's use. So when it's actual usage, it's not covered under warranty. The main wheel's tire, it looks like it's made of like a hard-ish rubber material, and it rolls around enough, it's gonna wear it out. So it's not gonna cover things like consumables, like the side brush, main brush, the vacuum bags, etc. So let's do a vacuum test on this carpet area and the towel area. I'm gonna spread paper shreds all over, including the corners and edges. Now I'm gonna rub in some pet hair towards the center so we can see it. Typically, it would appear like a thin layer, so you can't really see it at all. So I'm gonna try to emulate that. Now let's run it and see how well it does. It left a few pieces here and there, including here, which is kind of depressed into the towel area, so it can't reach it. I'll put it over there. There's a few pieces here it should have got. One piece here and a strip of about 4 inches along this border. There's one piece here and a little bit in this corner. This is because for MOVA robots, the side brush is not automatically enabled on the carpet area. To do this, go in the upper right corner of the app, go to carpet cleaning settings and go all the way down where it says side brush rotates on carpet. Turn that on, and also if you want intensive carpet cleaning, you can also turn that on where it'll crisscross the cleaning pattern. Now I'm gonna run it again and it should pick up all the stuff around the edges. I'll slow it down on this edge. The side brush is on and it pulls in those debris into the vacuum. This is on intensive cleaning now, so it's vacuuming on a pretty dense vertical grid. Then it proceeds on a horizontal grid to give it a nice crisscross look. Then it vacuums the towel area and it goes back. Very good result. It even left vacuum lines on the floor, except on the towel area. There's 2 pieces of paper shreds right here and here. That's pretty forgivable and actually better than most vacuum cleaners I've tested. In terms of pet hair, I see 1 strand here, a few strands there, very few strands, and I think if I run it again, it can probably pick up these tiny hairs here. Overall, very good results with the vacuuming. Let's do the mop test now. Now I'm gonna do my standard tea stain test with this black tea. This will test the coverage area. I'm gonna put it in the corners, edges. I've let it dry about an hour. The tea stains are dried along the edges, but not right in the center. So if I smear this one, you can see there's a circular outline on this stain here. So now I'm gonna run the mopping session and see if it can scrub these off, as well as on the corners and edges. It missed a few spots here and there, a little bit in the corner, and a couple of faint ones along the edges up there. A piece of debris that it cannot mop up, I'll just pick this up. But overall, a very good first pass. I'm gonna run it again on a different route and see if it can cover more of it. The first run was deep cleaning route, the second run was intensive route. Now we're gonna try the standard route. Usually for MOVA vacuums, the standard route actually gets most of the mopping in the corners for me. So I'm gonna run it on that and see if it gets the rest. There are some faint stains up there, right in the corner, a faint one right in the corner here, but overall pretty good. I'm still gonna run it on the quick route and see if it does any better. Usually the quick route doesn't mop around the perimeter, it only does the center, that's why it's quicker. It does have a few faint stains left over, but overall the result is as good as the top tier robot mopping vacuums. Hot mop washing is not enabled by default. Let me show you how. Select the gear icon on the upper right, select dock settings, select mop washing settings, select the water temperature at the very bottom. Right now it's set at warm, change it to high temperature.
Task completed. Please empty the used water tank timely.
It just finished the hot mop washing at this highest temperature level. The top of the vacuum is 89 degrees. If we peek inside, it's around 81 degrees. But let's take it out and see how hot it got. The mops are 75 degrees. The center of it is 80 degrees, and those PTC heaters are very hot, 155 degrees right now. It's cooled down a little bit from its maximum temperature of 212 degrees Fahrenheit. If you have the P50 Pro Ultra already, there's no need to upgrade to the P70 Pro Ultra. There's just incremental improvements, even though, you know, they say the suction power is a lot higher. Effectively, at least from the surface, it cleans just as well. Once you go in the app and purposely turn on the side brush on carpet, it does very well in vacuuming carpeted areas. You should also turn on the mopping under ledges as well as around table chairs. With those features turned on, it can also mop very, very well. Overall, the performance of this product is on par with top tier robotic vacuum cleaners. It may not have very fancy features such as auto lifting navigation module. You know, it can sink itself down and get underneath furniture a little bit better. Triple cleaning solution, a bunch of mops that I can swap in between, or like wheels that allows it to climb over stuff, or robotic arms on top of it. Those things are sort of nice to have features. This one will mop, it will vacuum. If you guys are interested in this MOVA P70 Pro Ultra robotic vacuum cleaner, check out my affiliate link down in the video description below. Thanks for watching this video. Until next time.